A young lion cub, full of youthful fire and a need to be heard, stood proudly upon a rocky outcrop. He took a deep breath, puffed out his small chest, and let out a roar. It was a mighty attempt, echoing with all the ferocity his young lungs could muster. He looked over at his father, the king of the pride, expecting a booming response, a powerful roar that would shake the very ground. But his father, a magnificent lion with a mane like a golden crown, remained perfectly still. He sat in regal silence, his gaze fixed on the horizon, seemingly unimpressed by his son's display. The cub, confused and a little deflated, roared again, this time with a hint of frustration. Still nothing. The silence from his father was more deafening than any roar. The little cub trotted over to his father, his tail drooping slightly. He nuzzled against the massive, muscular leg. "Father?" he asked, his voice now just a small squeak compared to his earlier roars. "Why don't you roar with me? Didn't you hear me? I was showing everyone how strong we are." His father slowly turned his massive head, his amber eyes, full of ancient wisdom, meeting his son's. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he dipped his head and gave the cub an affectionate lick, a gesture far more gentle than the cub had expected. The silence stretched, filled only by the whisper of the wind through the tall savanna grass. The cub waited, his impatience growing. "Why won't you roar?" He pressed again, a little louder this time. "Aren't you the king? Shouldn't everyone hear your voice and tremble?" The old lion finally spoke, his voice not a roar, but a deep, calm rumble that seemed to vibrate through the cub's entire body. "My son," he said, "true power is not something you have to announce. Shouting to prove you are strong is a sign of weakness, not strength. A real king doesn't need to make noise to be acknowledged." He gestured with his head towards the plains below them. "Look, the wind does not roar, yet it can bend the mightiest trees. The river does not shout, yet it carves its way through solid rock over time. They have a quiet, persistent strength." He looked back at his son, his gaze intense. "Because, my little one, real power is felt, not heard. It is in your presence, in your actions, in the certainty with which you carry yourself. When you are truly powerful, others will feel it. They won't need to hear it." As the first rays of dawn painted the sky in shades of orange and pink, the father and son sat together in shared silence. They watched as the vast plains below them began to stir with life. A herd of zebra grazed peacefully, their stripes a dizzying pattern in the soft morning light. A giraffe gracefully stretched its long neck to nibble on the highest leaves of an acacia tree. None of the animals seemed scared or agitated. They were aware of the lion's presence on the rock, but there was a sense of calm, an acceptance. The old lion hadn't made a sound, yet his dominion over this land was absolute and undisputed. It was an unspoken understanding, a silent agreement woven into the fabric of the savannah. The cub, watching this silent kingdom, began to understand. The quiet authority of his father was more commanding than the loudest roar. From that day forward, the young cub changed. He still practiced his roar, but not to demand attention. He practiced it for the day he might need it to protect his family. He spent more time watching his father, learning from his quiet confidence and his decisive, deliberate actions. He saw how his father led the hunt, not by shouting orders, but by moving with strategic silence, guiding the lionesses with subtle glances and shifts in posture. He learned that a leader earns respect through wisdom, courage, and protecting the pride, not by having the loudest voice. The cub learned to lead by example, not by noise, understanding that his presence and his character were his greatest assets. His strength was no longer just in his voice, but in his heart and in his steady, quiet resolve. As the years passed, the young cub grew into a magnificent lion, his mane as full and golden as his father's had been. He became the king, and he ruled just as his father had taught him. He led with a quiet strength that inspired loyalty and a calm presence that brought peace to his lands. He taught his own cubs the same lesson, that the greatest strength is often the quietest. So, as you go through your own journey of learning and growing, remember this story. Let your actions speak for you. Let your integrity and kindness be your influence. Let your heart be your roar. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey today. If you enjoyed this story and want more content to inspire you and help you learn, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We appreciate your support and can't wait to see you in the next video.